what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy, GTO. New episode of Vibez with GTO. Hassan Campbell versus Wack 100. Man, it's getting crazy. Hassan Campbell released the audio of a private conversation between himself and Wack 100. And what was said on that audio has made a lot of people upset. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna cause a lot more issues in the future. First of all, a lot of people really love and have a lot of respect for the late great Nipsey Hussle, and for Wack 100 to say some of the things that he said, talk about some of the things that he talked about with Hassan Campbell, who, doesn't even live on that coast, is, that's pull of talking to me. And those are things that can always get you in trouble. So I always encourage everyone, to watch what you say and who you say it to. You can't have conversations with just anyone or anybody about certain things. And that's what transpired there. But also I think that it goes back to a bigger thing, attention and social media. Those are going to be the downfall of a lot in the foreseeable future. I mean, just the way it is. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to create a drama atmosphere. And I think that's something that Wack has immersed itself in. And that's another thing that's very problematic. Another thing that I'm thinking about is, a lot of investigations don't start just by law enforcement having the information. A lot of time information is brought to their attention. One of the things that stuck out to me is the Oscar De La Hoya situation. That's kind of crazy. And even academics said that it kind of sounds like extortion, which it does. And right now, that may lead to law enforcement looking into more things behind other things that may have occurred with Wack 100, which is another thing that's crazy. So let's go back and think about this as well. Kim Kardashian has already said that she has a legal team ready to defend against the second sex tape. Now, we don't know the behind the scenes things when it comes to that. We don't know if any money was discussed or anything like that, but that could be problematic as well. Just throwing that out there. The next thing, Wack 100 talking about supplying guns to the Crips. That's another thing that's crazy. All those things, it's just leading into something that will eventually snowball. And I'm just, thinking out loud with this entire situation, but it's kind of crazy. I'll play the audio for everyone so you can hear some of the conversation for yourself. Also, Wack talked about how he squeezes different individuals, and squeezing can be taken in several different ways, and academics try to defend it by saying that it's a give and take when you're dealing in the industry, and really it's a give and take with anything that you do, because in this world everything is really based off of relationships. So that's another thing that we have to keep in mind. But my main thing is I hope that Wack 100 hasn't been heavily involved in extortion and also pressing people, because if other people come forward, other information comes about, that could lead to more charges. And Hassan, he had this agenda. I felt like Hassan felt disrespected by Wack 100, and that's something that we have to be mindful as well. I feel like as individuals we need to treat everyone with respect, and I think if respect would have been given towards Hassan, he probably would not have released that audio. But I think since they tried to disrespect him, make him look bad, he put the audio out. And it's unfortunate. Really, nobody wins in this situation. You think about Nipsey Hussle, his family, Lauren London, all these things, a lot of people are affected. The people around the world who loved Nipsey, admired Nipsey, looked up to Nipsey, other people's names that were brought up into this entire situation, in the conversation, I should say. Man, it's just a crazy situation. But y'all check out the audio. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Man, hey, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy GTO. Yeah.
make me look like I'm foul because I recorded the devil. Wack is a blackmailer. He is an extortionist. Them niggas is putting the pressure on. Like, that shit he did to Gilly and Wallow was foul. All the way foul. Everybody that Wack...
What do you mean? What do you mean to Gilly and Wallow? Like,
why would he go on a... You want a podcast, why would you tell the world? People like Gilly and respect him. Why would you tell millions of people punched in his face by Beanie and ran? I would have never did that to Gilly. I made videos about you in the past based off of the Chirac stuff because I didn't even know who you was and how big you was until I started finding out about King Von and FBG Duck and looking at certain situations. Then I was like, oh, okay, academics. I didn't know who you was. Then I seen my son trying to dish you. So that's when I learned who you was. But it was like, yo.
Hold on. Yo, I'm going to be honest. You know what I've realized? I don't know. I think we have different perspective of this because, like, I look at that and, like, if you mention, right, like, if right now, right, say somebody, like, try to beat me up, right, while we're at the podcast, and if you mention it now, I don't know, I think I just, you know, and this is respectfully, I think we just have different perspective because, like, me, I wouldn't care. Like, you know what I mean? So I looked at because I was at that podcast when he mentioned the thing about Gilly. And I was looking at like, yo, I think Wack's just trying to get good content. But I ain't gonna lie, Gilly was a little upset. Gilly was, I've never seen Gilly like that before. And I guess to your perspective on it, maybe when you look at it like that, it's foul because that's not content. That's more like you're putting out something to disrespect somebody, right?
My whole thing, listen, my whole thing is like this, right? When he sat up there, he said out of his mouth, that's why Bam fucked you in the ass, which Bam never did. That never happened. But he violated me, nevertheless. When he said what he said out of his mouth, the gloves came off. There's no respect no more. You see what I'm saying? I would have never leaked those. I would have never let that audio out on him if he didn't disrespect me like that. In my face. Like how he talking about he would have said it on me in that room. If he would have swung on me in that room, he would have died. Anybody that knows me knows if he would have swung, he would have died in that room. And that's the bottom line to that. Wack play all he want to, but Wack, no. I got audio with Wack sitting up there saying, yo, I know is coming to everybody else. Wack 100 is nobody's friend. The dude is the devil. And bottom line to it is, that shit that he was doing to Nipsey Hussle is going to cost him. He know that from now on, he better stay on the outskirts of town because somebody ain't going to like what he did. That dude is foul. He's telling everybody that Nipsey Hussle was actually an informant. He was a rat. Oh, wait for the rest of the audio. Nipsey was a rat. That's what he's trying to say. Nipsey was a rat.
And let me ask you a question because I talked to Wack about this, right? And Wack said, this is where your information isn't correct or all the way correct. He said the alleged video of whatever sexual stuff was going on only came out after Nipsey died, so it's impossible anybody could have used that to try to blackmail or extort Nipsey because Nipsey was dead already.
Play his words, word for word what he said. This is why everybody is disgusted and nobody's dealing with him. He's a manipulator. Play his words. Don't let him try to, that's not my style, but I knew Wack was the devil. And see, the bottom line to it is, it's like, yo, the nigga admitted to extorting Oscar De La Hoya, a great champion boxer, who relied on them dudes to get him, you know, some people, girls, dudes, whatever he like. He dressing up in negligees and shit like that in women's attire, and they extorted him. Nipsey Hussle extorted him. Everybody, yo, it's a long list. I'm not even giving out the list of everybody that he squeezed in, he's disrespecting. It's like, yo, Nipsey been dead. He died a horrible death. Why is Wack 100 still running around dragging and just destroying that man's name? Why is he destroying his legacy? Where's the hate and the jealousy coming from where he hate him so much that he won't let him rest in peace? Why people ain't asking that question?
Well, I'll definitely clear up this. And again, you know, this is up to anybody who's listening for them to either believe me or not. Whatever, maybe you're right. This word squeeze could mean a lot of different things. I can tell you this is the 100% full transparent view of me and Wack's relationship. We've never exchanged any money, but I think we do see there's certain benefits. By the way, there was at the time, the first time I ever talked to Wack, there was a situation with the Migos when I was with Joe Budden, and people were calling around, blah blah. Wack called. It was like, yo, listen, they mad at Joe Budden. Where's your position on this? I know you're not a street dude. I'm like, nah, I'm not into that type of stuff. Anyway, Wack has always reached out when it comes to other situations like that. And also, I have given him, like, advice or, like, you know, like, extending the platform to, like, if he has an artist in terms of, and I don't know if people want to consider that a squeeze. Maybe that's a squeeze. But
listen, man, like I said, Wack 100, out of his own mouth, was extorting Oscar De La Hoya. You sitting up there and you telling me that I don't think...
You think he's extorting for money? I'm trying to get the nature of extortion.
He was blackmailing him. He was blackmailing him with sex tapes and pictures. The same way he was blackmailing Nipsey Hussle with sex tapes and pictures. This is out of his own mouth. I got recordings. I got him on tape. The nigga's foul. He's foul. Wack 100 is the type of nigga get you out of town. You ain't got no shorty with you. You want to get with a... He lined you up with a shorty, and then they got you on tape. Shorty beat her, and this is allegedly. I'm just giving you like some of the shit that he admitted to. You don't even know you in a room with hitting cameras and shit like that, and now there's footage all over the place. This is what he does. Wack is not a friend of anybody. He did it to De La Hoya. He did it to Nipsey Hussle. How you get sex tapes on De La Hoya and Nipsey Hussle?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Hassan.
Hold up. Act one more for you. One more for you. See, this is why the internet is going crazy. Why is it that Wack 100 was the one that got the tape? Wack 100 got the sex tape of Kanye West. How did you get Kanye West sex tape? Oh, you got it from Ray J. Right. So you went and got the sex tape from Ray J. Why? So you could extort money out of Kanye West. And then Kanye West brought the tape back. I got to say allegedly. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to understand something. You extorting niggas. How you got sex? So now you got Kanye West's sex tape, or rather Ray J and Kim Kardashian sex tapes. You got that. You got De La Hoya sex tape, and you got Nipsey Hussle sex tape. How do you explain that? He's the devil.
Is there a way where you and Wack could, like, because again, I think here's what I fear, right? I've been in this industry and I've been privy to certain stuff, but I know when certain things could hurt other people that's not intended to hurt. And I think where you're at right now is that you have a lot of maybe inside knowledge or information, and granted you want to out Wack, but there's going to be a lot of blowback, and there's going to be a lot of collateral damage in the sense of when you mention that tape with Nipsey Hussle, the particular baby mama in question is now under fire because people are asking her questions. You get me? When you mention some of these other things, people are going to go to that and be like, well, we heard it from this. Again, would you want to get to the point with Wack where, because I feel like you're using all this just to weaponize against Wack, how could y'all settle it without this? Unless your goal is to just expose it all.
Listen, my whole thing is, Wack violated me. All Wack had to do was call me on the phone and say, yo, man, because Hocus tried to squash it, right? I told Wack I ain't got no beef with him. Wack want to be disrespectful. Let's get disrespectful. And see, my whole thing is, Wack is a clown. But, nigga, instead of handling it in the streets, he talking about going to court. Oh, I'm going to court. So now the gangster going to court, you bitch-ass nigga? That's a bitch move. A bitch move. I don't know if anybody told you about me.
No, whoa,
everybody.
No. I don't want it to go to the street. I'm just saying, I felt like if you and Wack, because I seen y'all demeanor in person. You get me? And I don't know how y'all were on the phone, but I think I've always said this. You see, Clubhouse is a place where it entices somebody to talk shit. So you then hear Wack basically giving his side, and of course it's a little hyped up, and then you're like, oh, yo, this thing is talking like he pressed me. So now I got to go in there. Y'all start getting an argument. People hyping it up. Y'all start basically throwing around the Frank stand, and then you know what happens? You get to a point where you're like, man, fuck it. since he thought he had the one up on me, the gloves are off, I'm dropping and I'm going to expose this guy. Do you get what I mean?
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, like I said, the nigga disrespected me. I would have never let the audio out without his permission because we was both supposed to be doing a podcast or whatever the case may be. So, you know, for legal purposes, I'm saying that's why I was recording him because we were supposed to be doing a podcast together. But I would have never released it because I think that he looks really, really bad. He was really, really shiesty. I showed the devil love, but I fed him with a long spoon because I knew he couldn't be trusted. When we were sitting together with each other, we did business. It felt good. We all smiled together. He had to make it look like he was the man. He was pressing me like dogs. Even though I'm not a street nigga no more, I'm a family man. I still ways and I still got that respect that comes along with it. And I'm not going to let nobody disrespect me. That did not disrespect me or press me face to face. The nigga was giving me hugs and had pretty teeth. He had pretty teeth. He kept smiling.
Well, I think the disagreement with that is I think he's saying that he said certain stuff, which I watched later. Like, yeah, he was saying little comments. Conversation with him.